In today's brand new Project Cars 2 DLC video, I'm going to run through some more exciting news about what we can expect in the next few weeks and months. Let's do it! What's going on, guys? My name is Matilio and welcome back to Project Cars 2 and a brand new DLC news video. So, the majority of this DLC news video is going to be focusing on the first DLC, or what we believe will be the first DLC pack we're going to be getting, which is the Fun Pack. But before we do that, I just want to shed a little bit more light on some information about the Ferrari Pack. So we've got this image up on the screen, which basically lists 7 awesome Ferraris that we believe are going to be coming to the game. All this information comes from the GT Planet website, so you can go and find that for yourself if you want to. I'll leave a link in the description. But we've got 7 awesome cars here. The big one that stands out for me is the FFXK. That thing is absolutely insane. It's a howling monster. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Also got things like the Ferrari, the F355 Challenge. We've got the 512 BBLM, which isn't in that image there. I'm going to give you a close-up now of that image. But yeah, so we've got a list of 7 of the 8 cars that we're going to get. What that final car could be, I'm not too sure. I would prefer something that's properly race orientated. Those cars seem like they're very much, classic road cars, or road cars or classic road cars. I would like something that's properly track orientated, stripped out, liveried up, that sort of thing. But if you guys have suggestions about what you would like to see, let me know in the comments down below. But we also know in that pack we're going to be getting 2 DLC tracks. One of them we can pretty much say with all certainty is going to be Mugello. We know that track is coming to the game, but the other track we're not too sure about. There's not been too much information. We know Interlagos is a track that's coming to the game, as is a layout, one layout of classic Le Mans. There are so many different layouts to Le Mans over the years, but I don't know, Fioriano could be one. Potentially, that's the other track that Ferrari do like to test on. It's their in-house track. I think it sits out the back of the factory, actually. So that could be a possibility. But again, if you have suggestions, guys, let me know in the comments down below. But what we're going to do now is we're going to focus on the Fun Pack. And as we said, we've got a pretty good idea about what we're going to be getting in this pack. It's still a little bit open to interpretation of the packs. This was the one that was left most open to interpretation, because we've got the Porsche pack that's coming, we've got the Ferrari pack that's coming, both self-explanatory, as is the Le Mans pack. A little bit open more into interpretation, that one, because there were so many different awesome cars from Le Mans down the years, so anybody's guess as to what ones will make it in there. But the Fun Pack was very, well, what could this be? They're all fun. What could be in this pack? And from the information we found, not only from the last video, with the DLC roadmap image which is on screen now, and also some of the cars that we know are coming to the game, it looks very much like it's going to be a rally slash rallycross themed sort of DLC pack. And we know about some of the cars that are coming to the game already. One of them is, of course, the absolutely bonkers and awesome Audi S1 Quattro Group B from 1985, I think it is. And this is one of my favourite cars of all time. It looks absolutely amazing, and while I really love the rally version, I would like a Pikes Peak version. Even though we haven't got Pikes Peak in the game, I would love like a hill climb, like a tarmac rally sort of version for it. Purely for my selfish reasons, I would love to drive it in my Hill Climb Monster series. That would be absolutely awesome. But this is one of the cars I'm really looking forward to. I'm really excited to get my hands on. A couple of the other cars we know that are coming in this pack, or we believe are coming in this pack, is the predecessor, I suppose you could call it, the Audi S1 Rallycross car. That is also going to come with the Citroen DS3 Rallycross car, and I'm a little bit puzzled as to why these weren't put in the game from the start. You could argue potentially they didn't have the rights for them straight away and they had to wait, but again, it would kind of, putting them in the games from the start would kind of go against game developers MO nowadays. Why give it to them in the release of the game when we can hold it back and charge extra and call it DLC? So yeah, I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that. We know these cars are coming into the game, and I'm absolutely excited for them, don't get me wrong, but a little bit puzzled as to why they weren't in the full release of the game. But again, your guess is as good as mine, but we have a sneaky idea as to what the reason could be. Money, 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 money. Money! Sorry, I probably deafened you all there. I shouldn't sing, I'm terrible at it. Right, well, we're going to get away from me singing, and we're going to take a look at the some of the other cars and some of the new information we have. So one of them we've got coming, and we sort of saw a little bit about this, and it was a little bit puzzling back there because it was the 2016 Ford Bronco RTR, but we now have a little bit of a different name for it because it's called the Ford Bronco. Sorry, it's the 2017 Ford Bronco Brocky RTR, and here's an image of it on screen. Now, this is probably by far and away the most bizarre car we have in the game, barring of course the Honda 2 and 4 concept, which looks like a moon buggy, but this one it's so far away from what we're kind of used to. I mean, we've got Rallycross in the game, but this looks like a rock crawling Baja Desert Rally, you know, Baja 1000 sort of vehicle, and we don't have any circuits in the game that would properly accommodate having this in there, if that makes sense. So it kind of leads me to believe that we know we're getting Interlagos, Classic Le Mans and Mugello, as we've already mentioned, but it leads me to think that the track for this one could potentially be a dirt rally stage, potentially, something along those lines, something that would accommodate this car properly, because having this car run on tarmac would seem to be a little bit wasted in environments like that. So whether we get like a wide open, like maybe like a Paris-Dakar sort of area, you know, like a stage, 10 miles long with jumps and bumps and sand and mirages and camels and God knows what else. Whether we get something like that, that would be absolutely awesome, don't get me wrong, but again, not quite sure why this is in the game. I'm happy it's in there, so I'm sure it's going to be fun to drive, I'm sure it's going to be fun to get my hands on, but again, it's just, we don't really have a track to accommodate it, unless, of course, we are going to get a track to accommodate it when the DLC does release. So the next one we're going to focus on is, from this image once again here, we've got it highlighted, is the Ford RS 200. Now, I think a few of you mentioned in the comments of my previous DLC news video that this was one of the cars you wanted to see. Well, Matinho has delivered. Your wish is my command, even though I really didn't have anything to do with the choosing of this car for the DLC. But we are getting the Ford RS 200, the Group B version as well, from 1985, and I'm very excited for this. This thing looks absolutely bonkers and it looks absolutely amazing. We know all about Group B, how it was the golden age of rallying. So to have another one in there along with the Audi S1 Quattro is absolutely awesome. And this is another car I'm really looking forward to. And again, I hope we get sort of like a road rally variant from it, because you know the World Rally Championship, you know, they go on snow, they go on dirt and tarmac and all these other things. I hope we get a tarmac version, or at least a way to make it a tarmac version. Just again, for my own selfish reasons, I would love to put this through our Azure Coast Hill Climb circuit for the Hill Climb Monster series I run. But yeah, very, very excited for this one, and again, I'm sure a lot of you are as well, because I think a few of you did request and put this down as one of the cars you would like to see coming in this DLC pack. But the next one we're going to take a look at, and we're once again going to pop this image up on screen right here. It is the 1978 Renault 5 Turbo, and I'm a little bit confused by this one, because if memory serves correctly from the reading I did about this, the Renault 5 Turbo debuted at the Paris Motor Show in 1978. It did compete in rallies and it had a little bit of success. It did actually win the 1981 Monte Carlo rally the year before Group B came into play, but yeah, I'm a little bit confused by this one, and having thought about it a little bit, there is the possibility that we could be getting two variants of this. Now, I'm not saying that we are, but this is my thinking, that we've got two variants of the Ford Escort RS 1600. We've got a classic rallycross variant and we've got a road variant, and I think there's also a track racing variant as well. But considering that, you know, putting this into, I don't know, what could be a rally category with the RS 200 and the Group B Audi S1 Quattro probably would be a little bit unfair. There is the possibility that we could be getting a road variant and also a classic rallycross variant to go along with the classic rallycross Ford Escort that we already have. So that's the possibility. If that's not the case, then I'm a little bit unsure as to why. I think there would have been better candidates for that slot. I know it's not always that easy, and they have to basically take what they can get almost when it comes to the rights. Some companies sell their rights exclusively to one developer and they don't allow it to go to anybody else, or it's in the contract for it. So, but but I think if they were going for a rally theme, I think mid to late 70s rally, the Lancia Stratos is the one. You've got to have it. That's the one you want. If it's not rallying, then I think for road cars, there probably is a better version. But again, you know, road cars, I mean, they're just road cars. We want something wacky and fun. And to stay with the theme of the DLC potentially, which is rallycross and rallying. So, again, a little bit puzzled by this one. I'm sure we'll get more information a little bit closer to the release date, whenever that may be. But again, at this point, I'm a little bit confused as to why this potentially could be in there. But I'm sure once we find out what variants we're getting of this car, then it'll probably become apparent. But right now, I'm a little bit confused as to this one. But again, it's just me. You guys could really be happy about this, but again, I'm not unhappy about it. I'm just a little bit indifferent. So we'll see what happens with this one. But the Renault 5 Turbo from 1978 looks like it is coming to the game, and but we don't know what variants we're going to get as of yet. Okay, so the final part of this video, because we've touched on quite a bit of information, but the final part is not so much information as it is speculation, and I'm going to pop this image up on screen once again, because as we know, we're getting 4 separate DLC packs, and each pack will contain 8 DLC cars. Now, I'm also going to pop this image up on screen. Now, as we can see here, there are 9 Porsches, and we know that 9 doesn't go into 8, that's simple maths. So, I speculated in the last DLC news video I did that at least one of these cars, maybe more, could find their way into another DLC pack. Now, very unlikely we're going to see one of these cars in the Ferrari pack, but there is a very strong possibility we're going to be seeing one or more Porsches in the Le Mans pack. Now, Le Mans and Porsche are very synonymous with each other. Porsche is the most successful team in the history of the Le Mans 24-hour race, that we know, but I think there's also a very slim possibility we could see a Porsche rocking up in the Fun Pack. Now, this is a little bit of a stretch, and bear with me here, I'm going to explain myself. So, I'm going to focus on the image in the top right hand corner here, which is, as a lot of you all know, the Porsche 959. But what some of you may not realise is the Porsche 959 came into existence because of Group B. The regulations around Group B and how it worked back then was that teams could build whatever insanely wacky and stupidly fast rally cars they wanted. However, one of the key regulations around Group B was you had to build 200 road legal variants of whatever car you were entering. And this is the result of that. The Porsche Rally Group B Rally program was the 939, and this is the road car that was derived from that in order to satisfy the FIA's regulations. So, while we know we're definitely getting the 959 and more than likely in the Porsche pack, I think it might be, it's a possibility, but it would also be a little bit of a shame if we didn't get the car that basically was the reason for the 959 coming into existence, which is this on screen, the Porsche 939 Group B rally car. Like I said, it's a bit of a stretch, and I'm not saying it is going to happen, but we've got, obviously, the regular track-going Porsches. You know, we've got GT3s, we've got other GT classification cars from throughout the history of Porsche. We've got a couple of Le Mans races as well in there, and we're going to be getting some more Le Mans races in the dedicated Porsche pack. But there is the possibility that with the 959 in there, as I said, being derived from the 939, we could get a 939 Group B car in the Fun Pack, because there's still a couple of spaces that are unaccounted for and a couple of cars still to rear their heads to let us know what we're going to be getting. So I'm not saying it is going to happen, but there is that possibility. Okay then guys, but that's all I've got for you this time around, so thank you everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, you would like to see more Project Cars 2 content from myself, be it DLC videos or racing content, then make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Also, don't be afraid to leave a comment down below and let me know what cars would you like to see. We still have a couple of spaces left unaccounted for the Fun Pack, so let me know in the comments guys. Would it be more Group B cars? Would you like some mid to early 90s rally cars? Let me know in the comments guys, it's always awesome to hear from you. But again, thank you everybody so much for watching, take care, and as always, I will catch you all in the next video. Peace!